Hello all YouTubers, I am the Dude. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we're talking about Hurricane Epsilon. So if you want to hear more about Hurricane Epsilon, stay tuned and enjoy. If you'd like staying up to date with the latest weather forecasts and updates, then please consider hitting the subscribe button below. Let's see how fast we can get to 2,000 subscribers. Also, to help this video's performance very much, please consider clicking the like button and sharing this video with your friends. Also, please consider watching the whole video. Thank you. Now let's get on with today's video. Now today may be a bit shorter of a video than what you guys are used to, and today we're briefly going to be talking about Hurricane Epsilon that is going to be skirting near Bermuda. We'll be talking about the track of the storm, how it could potentially affect Bermuda some more, and a future track of it, and how maybe even Newfoundland is next in line. Maybe not for direct impacts, but at the very least some indirect impacts. So we have Hurricane Epsilon here. As if you guys frequently check my community tab, you might see that I did post on this as well. That did become a major hurricane at one point, and by the way, if you can get this video to 25 likes, that would be great. But this did become a 115 mile per hour Cat 3 briefly, but then it kind of went downhill after that. It gained strength pretty quickly, and then it lost strength pretty quickly. 85 mile an hour winds. Now, even though the pressure is 968 millibars, which is still pretty low for its strength right now, and that's obviously because the storm is very large in size, and it's moving northwest still at 9 miles an hour. So that westward movement is putting that wind field, it's keeping that wind field over Bermuda for longer, but also the wind field is starting to shrink a little bit, even though the storm is still very large. Like I think the wind field right now is like 300 miles from the center. Is how far out the tropical storm force winds go, and I think it was actually over 400 miles at one point. So I think the wind field's going down a bit. But as of the current track, Newfoundland, at least the very southeastern portion, does have a chance to get tropical storm force winds. But even if they don't, still a lot of waves and rip currents, and we'll see if it gets close enough to produce some rain showers. But that is highly doubtable as of now. But Bermuda getting those tropical storm force winds. Looking at the map, I think you guys, take a look at the map even closer, but I think you guys are out of the tropical storm force wind field. But still a lot of waves, a lot of rip currents. We did see some gusty winds today in Bermuda, which is expected there. All right, and this will continue to move north and then bend to the east as a hurricane. But notice, it stays tropical. I don't see any post-tropical. There's no white dots, so no post-tropical cyclone status. So it may possibly hold its strength even when the water is getting this cold. So if we zoom in a lot, even though Bermuda's under a tropical storm warning, according to the map, the teal does not go quite towards Bermuda. All right, if I zoom in even closer, all right, yeah, there's Bermuda where that blue line is. That's where TS warnings are. There's Bermuda, Hamilton, and the tropical storm force winds have just moved outside. So maybe because it's moving northwest a little bit, maybe it'll get a bit closer, but I don't really think so at this point. All right, so again, holding strength at 85, moving north. It may actually go back up to 90. They're actually NHC is actually calling for a brief restrengthening because he's to wind gust to Category 3 status. All right, sustained winds at Cat 1 status, and then it will eventually weaken, all right, as a Cat 1 hurricane moving east of St. John's in Newfoundland. So, key messages: tropical storm conditions in Bermuda through this evening. All right, it's when its closest approach. Probably later this evening into tonight, you'll probably see the worst of the effects, worst quote unquote the effects. Dangerous and potentially life-threatening surf and rip currents still. Okay, for the Bahamas. We're even talking about the Greater and Lesser Antilles still. All right, that's how big the system is. The Greater and Lesser Antilles are getting some big surf. As far away as the East Coast of the United States, and even Atlantic Canada, like I said, including Nova Scotia and Newfoundland, over the next couple or few days. So again, there's Epsilon, pressure down 965 millibars, winds around 85 miles per hour or so, 75 knots. But the sea surface temperature anomalies are significantly above average in this region, which is why it may hold its strength there a bit longer than it usually does. Even though when it skirts along coastal Canada, or near there anyway, once it leaves that, this is like the okay zone, where sea surface temperatures are like in the 70s, which is like, not bad. But once it gets north of there, the sea surface temperatures will plunge into the 50s, and this thing will become completely post-tropical at that point, like that. So the latest aircraft reconnaissance, all right, shows some Category 1 hurricane force winds, pressure down to 963 even, is what they picked up. All right, and it looks like the reason I think it will become subtropical pretty soon is because you see the strongest winds in convection on the west side and on the south side of the storm system. That's very lopsided. Usually it's on the north and the east side is where you normally see it. All right, so it's a bit lopsided. But looking on the satellite, it did have an eye. It does not appear to have an eye anymore. All right, there was the eye right there. You see briefly at the beginning of the loop. I'll play it again. And there it was. All right, one more time for you guys that didn't see it. Ready? There it was. And now it's just kind of, the convection just wrapped into the center. There's a lot of dry air in there as well. So it's becoming a bit less organized, but still some of the cloud cover is getting close to Bermuda. It's still spinning about. It's in an okay environment in terms of right now. I think the coordinates are, let me see, where's the coordinates at? 60, so we'll say roughly 62 west and maybe 32 or so north. So if we look at that on the map, all right, as you can see, 30 is about, so there's Bermuda pretty much. So it's pretty much right in this region. It's still in above average sea surface temperatures, but the water itself is less than 80 degrees at this point. Now, I think when the NHC was calling for breathe free strengthening, as you can see, water's in this little zone here. There's like a little patch where water temperatures around 81, 82 degrees. They kind of rebound a little bit. There's like this little patch off the East Coast. So if it moves over that, it could re-strengthen very briefly, but not getting much above what it is now. All right, let's see. We are on to the intensity guidance. So how intense will this get from here? Surprisingly, a lot of the models do say that it'll get back to a Cat 2 at some point. Quite a few do. I think most, though, do trend it down to a Cat 1 tropical storm eventually. But one model does make it a Cat 3, and a few do make it a Cat 2 once again. So we'll see. And this says as of the latest model data. Now, how about the model track guidance? All right, even though the majority do bring it this way, all right, away from coastal Canada, skirting along coastal Canada, a few models do bring it a little close for comfort. Keep that in mind. And then once it passes there, I mean, once it gets to about here, it'll probably become post-tropical. It might already be post-tropical by then. Then it may get close to Greenland. So maybe if this does go west enough, I think if it does turn west enough, I think Greenland could get a huge, this could turn into a huge snowstorm for Greenland, like a monster blizzard. And because you remember Sandy along the East Coast, that actually produced blizzard conditions for the Appalachian chain there. So this could do the same thing except for Greenland. All right. Now, obviously, we can't see the snow. All right. If we actually, I do actually want to go to, we'll actually go to Greenland after this, and I want to see if they get snow because I'm curious. All right. So there's GFS model. Storm gets down to 958 millibars of pressure, like right in that spot I told you. Breathe free strengthening period. All right. And then after that, I think it'll be moving like close. As you can see, all right, St. John's, I think because of some shear as well, pushing that rain westward. I think maybe St. John or Newfoundland, St. John's could see some rain. All right. And then it moves all the way up, and look at this monster post-tropical beast there for Greenland. Let's actually go, let's go back a little bit, and then we're going to go to North America, and we're going to see if this turns into snow for Greenland. I'm curious. So let's go to rain and frozen, so we can see the snowfall map, because if we don't select rain and frozen, then it's just going to show the rain and not the snow. And what you know it, take a look at this. So this is a separate low pressure system that could join up with Epsilon. All right, and look at Greenland. All right, in case you guys don't know where Greenland is right here. Now, the other low is a bit farther north to begin with, so it's obviously already mainly snow associated with that, although there is a rainy side to that low. But watch as they kind of both combine, and southern Greenland does get a good hefty amount of snow. Doesn't look like much, A, because I'm zoomed out, and B, because the colors are different for Greenland, but trust me, it doesn't take much to get a lot of snow for them. And look at this. Look at all that snow that's pumped out for Greenland. All right, pretty insane snowfall totals. All right, that could get dragged out of this. And again, just out of curiosity, that low might stall near Greenland as well. Total snowfall for southern Greenland, yeah, dozens and dozens and dozens of inches of snowfall. We're talking about probably several feet, like maybe 5, 6, 7 feet, depending on where. I see 50 inches just like eyeballing it, although I'm sure, and a lot of snowfall for the U.S. too. All right, I'm gonna black that out for now. That you'll have to watch the other video uploaded today to find that out. All right, so let's go to the GFS model in the cyclonic vorticity signature to see again. There it is as it skirts along Greenland, as you can see right there. Probably its closest approach overnight tonight into very early tomorrow morning, and then as you can see, because it's a post-tropical cyclone and it develops like that western edge starts to become a bit stronger, this little band off to the west could hit St. John's and Newfoundland, and it might produce some more rain and storms. All right, and again, there's your hurricane force winds as it moves its way to the north. All right, let's time this out here. So again, probably approaching Newfoundland and St. John's probably around Sunday, Maybe I'll make its closest approach, maybe like during the day on Sunday. Gem model, pretty much the same thing here. All right, not saying anything differently. All right, low moves to the north. Then it kind of gets caught up. I think they have it a bit farther south, although St. John's, Newfoundland could still get a lot of rain out of this. And again, there's your cyclonic vorticity signature. Storm brings north, all right, or storm moves north, I should say. All right, and then we'll skirt close to St. So if you live in Newfoundland and the East Coast, all right, be prepared for some bigger waves, even if, well, I know the East Coast for a fact won't get any rain from this, but Newfoundland, on the very southern coast, you guys do have a chance. All right, so keep that in mind. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Please consider checking out my other video today where we talk about the snowstorms that are coming for the northern U.S. as well as the southern U.S. Pretty interesting, huh? So go and check that out. I am The Weather Dude signing off. Till next time, I'll catch you guys in the next video.